Okay. So your question is, when we take a decision, how do we understand it's my decision or my will or God's will? Yes. This whole concept of my will and God's will, the two wills are there is false. It's only one will. Right? There cannot be two wills. Okay. But there's two ways of living. Unconscious life and conscious life. So in early part of our evolution, till quite many lifetimes, we identify the body and mind. Okay, that means we identify the prakriti, the nature. The nature consists of three gunas: sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna. They have their own mode of operation. That's what Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Prakritehe kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha. Only Prakriti does, nature does. But because we identify with the nature, we think that it's my decision. Okay? It's not your decision anyway, but you have identified with the decision. So you have a ownership, you take ownership of the decision. Okay? In that sense, unconsciously, whatever Prakriti is doing, Prakriti nature, Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna, Tamo Guna, so those decisions we say it's my will. Okay? Really, it's God's will. What's God's will? God's will is that Jiva, to evolve, an environment is provided, Prakriti. In that Prakriti, Jiva will identify with Prakriti and try to do good karma, bad karma, all those things and evolve. So, in that sense, it's God's will only operating. In the presence of the God or pure consciousness, the Prakriti gets activated, the nature. It's like in the presence of sun, plant will grow, trees will grow, right? And river will flow. So like that, in the presence of Prakriti, consciousness, Prakriti will get activated. So it's a God's will in that sense. So then Jiva will identify the Prakriti in that will. And then Jiva will own up that is my will. That's also God's will. It's like, I mean, in a more example way, a child starts walking. So mother is holding hand of child, but child will put the 2 steps and say, I only walked. Right? In that sense, the will of the God operates as the cosmic Prakriti, nature. And the Jiva identifies nature and says, so whatever Prakriti is done, I have done. Okay. In that sense, you take a ownership of the decision, but they are driven by Prakriti, nature. So once you evolve and you become conscious, then you understand I am not Prakriti. I am separate from Prakriti. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not intellect. Then you know I am pure awareness. Then I am one with the God. So then case Prakriti is separate. The nature is separate. And then you realize that nature is also nothing but one with the God. So in that sense, there is no question of will or doership or anything. So the will or doership is there as long as your self-identity is there. So now, for evolution purpose, always we have to own up our decision. Even though it's Prakriti, we have to say it's my decision. Okay? Because otherwise what will happen? It's not my decision, Prakriti's decision, then you're not, because you're not separate out. Until you separate out, you're under the law of karma. Okay? Karma will operate properly. So you are wound up. Okay? So that means your decision you have to own up. It's my will. Okay? You have to own up your decision. Because your already identification is there. Okay? Even though in reality, or it's not reality, nature is working, but since you are not separate, you have become aware. So you are still trapped in the Maya. You have ownership for the decision. You have ownership for will. Okay? So that actually, my decision always has a sense of selfishness. This is for my good. My family is good. Ahankara, mamakara will be there in the decision. Okay, any decision. Ahankara, mamakara is always there with that. So that ahankara, mamakara is there, then you can take it as coming from the Jiva's doership. So it's for my good, my family is good, my job, all this my is there. So then already you have identified, already you are bound by law of karma. So this is called kamya karma. Okay. So then you can say it's God's will. God's will is providing environment for you in that sense. But it's your exercising your will because for selfish reason. Because you have identified with the Prakriti. Right? In that sense, there's an apparent sense of my will and your will. Not really. Okay? My will is coming because of wrong admission Prakriti. Okay, but you have not come out of that. In that sense, my will is that. So now is my will in tune with God will? Okay. God's will is to evolve, for you to evolve from tamoguna to rajoguna to sattoguna to gunatita. Okay. So how do you do that? Tamoguna means laziness. So you can say I am lazy because of God's will. Then you will not evolve. You'll get stuck. So I am lazy. I have to get out and do some work. Rajoguna you have to come. So then, right? Otherwise, in tamoguna will suffer. So nobody wants to suffer. They will try to move into rajoguna. Rajoguna, they will be hyperactive. Okay, that's also God's will. See, God's will at a prakriti level is to make sure that you suffer enough. So the nature is there. That's also God's will. The nature is given to you to make you understand this is not the right place for me to be in. Okay, the world and prakriti is there for not there to make you comfortable. Okay, world and prakriti is there to make you uncomfortable. So even person in tamoguna is uncomfortable. He wants to move to rajoguna. Person in rajoguna is also uncomfortable. I want doing something I'm not getting a business. So he's also uncomfortable. So the nature is there to make uncomfortable. But in that they'll always say it's God's will and all. They'll say it's all for satisfaction purpose. Really that uncomfort is there. There's uncomfort is God's will. That the nature is designed for you to make you uncomfortable so that you move. You know, otherwise you don't move. Right? So in that, nature is not there to give you happiness. Nature is there to make you uncomfortable. That's why it constantly changes there. That's God's will. So now, from tamoguna he moves to rajoguna, he will become hyperactive. Then from rajoguna also he'll get exhausted. He's restless there. Then he'll try to move into sattoguna, bhajans, prayers, this thing. Then there also he'll get stuck. So many years he'll do something. See, the problem is tamoguna is easy to come out, overcome. Rajoguna is easy to move. Sattoguna is very difficult because there's a comfort level is more. I'm fine. Okay. So I am, let me do some couple of bhajans and attend satsang, I'll be fine. You don't go to satsang also. So sattoguna also is bondage. So people get stuck in sattoguna. Then they'll become uncomfortable. Okay. I'm doing so much of prayer, so much of bhajan. Still I am feeling uncomfortable. Why this happened to me? That question will come. Then from sattoguna to gunatita you have to go. Sattoguna to gunatita, rajoguna to sattoguna becomes possible when you do nishkama karma, selfless service. Nishkama karma is required. But nishkama karma, then you have to become conscious that you have to understand that I'm identified with prakriti. I have to get out of prakriti. Then you start doing nishkama karma. Then you go into sattoguna. Then you do everything for the sake of God, praise of God. Still you are feeling happy because of that. As long as you get happiness by doing something, you're still in prakriti. Sattoguna, rajoguna, tamoguna. So once you go beyond this guna, then you realize my nature is happiness. I don't have to do anything for happiness. So tamoguna means doing something, not doing something. Laziness is happiness. Not doing. Rajoguna means hyperactivity is happiness. Sattoguna means study of books, bhajans, satsang is happiness. So all these three gunas bind. By doing something, you are getting happiness. That means you are in the prakriti. By not doing anything, I'll be happy. Okay, I don't have to do anything to my happiness. Is realization. That's gunatita. So now, from tamoguna to rajoguna, sattoguna is also God's will. God's will is to make your life so miserable, uncomfortable that you're forced to. You're forced to. So it's a carrot and stick policy of God. You know what is carrot and stick policy? So in corporate world, they have you do get a promotion. If you don't do, you'll get a firing. Right? So the carrot and stick policy of God or universe is stick is the prakriti, nature. It'll make your life uncomfortable, miserable. It'll keep on changing. That's a stick. The carrot is I'll be happy someday. Happiness is carrot. So one day or the other day I'll be happy. When that one day will come, I don't know. So carrot and stick policy of the God will drive you. Right? So if you have to ask any question, is this my will or God's will? Any point of time, now you have become more evolved. Then you have to ask a question, is this for Atmano Mokshartam or Jagaditaya? Self-realization or selfless service? If self-realization, self-realization, it's God's will. Okay? It is selfish reason, it's Prakriti. This question you have to ask. Right? See, now, most of our question of whether my will or God will, so I am taking a decision to do this job. Okay? God has given me will. So, this is God's will. So, I'll be successful. So, we are actually using God's will to become successful in life. God's will is to come out of your life. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Huh? See, basically, we are trying to use the excuse of God's will, to make life more comfortable. But on the other hand, the God's will is to make your life more uncomfortable. That's a carrot, that's a stick. Carrot is you can be happy, so you'll evolve. Am I making sense? Any questions?
Similarly, when he realized so